We're live. We're here.
We are live again right here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day now. Time for you to enjoy more betterment on Top Talk for today. Now, today will be very, very interesting because we will talk about the particular topic where a lot of people, they come outside and ask, is it a crime or is it not a crime? Marital rape. Say you don't marry and your husband tell you, say, in not there in the mood to actually give you that particular torchlighting of a thing, and then you can't force your husband. Or your wife tell you, say, she don't go work, she's tired. I've taken care of the children, I am tired. And then you can't force your wife.
By force.
By force. Now, crime for inside Obodo, Nigeria. If not be crime, what thing we fit do about them? And how married couples feel actually cope with this particular scenarios on ground. Very, very thick topic for today.
Very, very thick and necessary topic, because I don't hear a lot of stories where women go to talk, I know once he forced me, but you know, Nana, my husband, I know if he do anything. So we really need to find out the nitty-gritty of this one, whether not crime, I've been another thing we're going to talk about. And then we get countdown for you, 4 shocking traditions for inside the Obodo world. You're going to need to trick your ear and your eye to make sure say you gather every from inside here, because things they happen around the world where you don't even get idea of. But today we go bring them, lay them on top of the table so that you go get every information what you need to do know today. We also get you sabise. We also get health tips. We also get African proverbs.
Yes.
So it is an all-round full package to make sure, say, today, this afternoon, you get better jollifications. That's a new one.
That's a new one, jollifications.
Yes,
now, you're not even talking about marital rape. Some people, they actually take from biblical aspects, saying you shall not deprive your partner of that satisfaction. While some others, they take from the law. You force person against their will. It is criminal. So we will actually understand that well today. Abi? Yes. We will understand them well.
I want to talk something, but I leave them for when we start the discussion.
Okay, all right. Let's buy a small break and still not forget that we're there on top every social media platform. Follow us on top Twitter @Bettiana @Princess Uwi, on top Instagram @Bettiana @Princess Uwi, on top Facebook Bettiana Unweli @Princess Uwi, and only Bettiana there on top Snapchat. I'm there, but I'm a very silent person.
I've deleted my Snapchat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No wonder I don't see you. Let's buy a small break. When we come back after the break, time for us to give you some weird tradition. Very weird. With a comeback. Welcome back. Now, time for us to give you African proverbs for today. Now, our African proverbs, the common side talks say, if man want grow teeth way long, he must to get lip where go cover him.
Oh, this one's strong, well. Now, if person decides they won't do waiting ear, no suppose hear, or waiting eye, no suppose see, then they must get cover for them. If you know say you won't do the thing where you know they're proud of, you go need to hide them. You go ready to actually how you back people, they go say, "Kosakmamo," abiya, then they talk you go need to corner around so that no other person go know. So you need to get backup for every action where you take.
I totally agree with you. Very thick proverbs, and only the wise go understand them.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for you sabi say. Now you sabi say ketchup. Whether they take chopped chips and plantain and other things, then say it come from China as boiled down brine of pickled fish and spices, and then they call them ketchup.
Okay, but like I said, now the English man, not people pronounce it, now they just turn them to ketchup. Ketchup. From fish, you can imagine, from pickled fish.
Know.
All right, time for us to give you some shocking traditions around the world. It will surprise you to know what people they do, even in this 21st century. And the first place that we'll go enter now, inside Papua for New Guinea. Now, that they actually call them the semen drinking tribe. Now, to become a man for inside this particular area, boys, that they remove them from the presence of all females at the age of 7. They will separate the boys from every other female at the age of 7, and they will live with other male for 10 years. Other people will be male children for 10 years. Now, during these 10 years, the skin that they pierce them to remove any contamination where woman don't give the man. You know the skin, and the skin of the man region, that they come out. For the same reason, that they also regularly, they incur nose bleeding and vomiting caused by consuming large amounts of sugarcane. That they give them sugarcane, that they chop. Now, to top them off, they also required to ingest the semen of their elders. Now, when I talk about ingest, the men for inside the Papua New Guinea, they will actually tell them to drink the semen of their elders. According by them, this one will give them growth and strength.
Really? Which kind of strength be that one?
You say they always give them growth and strength.
Ha! Since day for this world, though. Number 2 on the list, now the Nepalese. Now, they say for inside there, a community where brothers, that they share their wives. Wow. Now, according to an article for Inside Psychology Today, they say almost all of the few polyandrous societies, they practice what in the anthropologists, they call fraternal polyandry. Now, a group of brothers go to share one wife. This is not the case among the Himalayas, where the little land where they get available for farming and agriculture, families where get more than one son, and then go they face dividing up of the land where one son go need to start a young family. Now they say the solution to all of this, now say then go find one wife for all their sons, so that they go feel live together as one family, and then go feel keep their family plot intact. And also for inside the National Geographic documentary, they say multiple husbands, these arrangements, they work best when the wife, they adept at scheduling time with each other. Now the wife, now you go to schedule the time and say, okay, Benga, your turn today. Kemos, tomorrow is your turn. Kesolo, your own on Friday. Femi, Sunday.
You understand? Wow. So the woman actually get the power.
Now the woman get the power.
All right, let's look at another weird tradition, and we'll go inside the Wudabi tribe for inside Niger. Now, they say the Wudabi tribe of Niger for inside West Africa, the men, they actually, they get permission to steal anybody's wife.
Wow.
Yes. To steal anybody's wife at all. Now, they get different kind of marriage. Now, the first marriage where the men, they actually involve themselves inside, now by their parents. Where their parents will actually marry them to their cousin.
Cousin? Yes. Incest?
So their cousin of the same lineage. Go marry them. That's the first marriage. The Wudabi people, the first marriage for the male, now with their cousin. Then later, if they can't actually see a woman where they like, even though say the woman don't marry, they can steal the woman. And if at the end of the day, both of them, they don't stay together for a very long time, the fee actually grants them permission to marry.
Interesting.
Yes, you can steal anybody's wife. They come your house, they see, say, Betiana, fine. They even steal you. And if you agree, you can pot.
Last but not the least, now the modern Iranian culture, where you figure temporary marriage if you pay for them. Now, they say in certain Muslim countries like Iran, a young couple will want to just, you know, they just want fellowship together.
Panachuku.
Then go just, once they're done ready, say, okay, I want to do this thing, and they're never ready to marry, then feel request waiting that they call temporary marriage. Now, then they allow them to pay for a short ceremony where they go get written contracts, where they detect the amount of time where they go they married. Now, once they don't finish this one, then say they get like 6 bunnies without contradicting the Islamic law. Now, you say they get 6.
And you can imagine, for you to panachuku.
You're gonna get marital rights without the actual marriage.
So if you come to Nigeria where the men, they actually do like 10 women, that one means say the man go marry 10 women temporarily.
You fit.
Just to panachuku.
Just to have fellowship.
All right, you don't hear the weird traditions. Which one you actually know we will not talk about, let us know. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, because we want actually get informed of things.
There's other weird traditions for inside Obodo Nigeria. Maybe we don't even go too far to world. Plenty weird traditions there. So tell us the one where they happen for inside your own town, your own village. I hear of the one where we say if you come visit the man, he will give you a wife as complimentary. Yes, I don't hear that one. I don't hear of somewhere in Nigeria, so I don't know the exact place. When they say if you know be indigene of the place, you know if you sleep there overnight, you know go survive. My goodness. Let's buy some more break, I beg. Now, when we come back after the break, marital rape. Now, crime, or should we remove that rape from inside them because they are both married? Our lawyer will join us at the studio. Not go anywhere.
Now, when you hear rape, rape actually when someone don't give you their consent for you to violate their body. Now, a woman must make sure, say, she give you her consent for you to actually take over her body freely and willing. But when it comes to marriage, this particular one they apply to them, is it possible, say, husband fear actually raping wife, especially as they don't join them as husband and wife? Is it possible? And that's why we get a Kaja's lawyer in the house, him now actually human rights lawyer. Him go actually let us know if it is criminal for husband to actually rape in wife. Join me welcome Henry Nwabueze. Yes.
Barry.
I got to get him. I was thinking, is it Henry or Harry?
Harry.
Harry.
Harry
Nwabueze.
Yes.
Good to have you, barrister.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, barrister, tell us about spousal rape, because some people now, coming from the biblical perspective, then go say, okay, because the Bible says two shall become one, nothing as spousal rape fit exist for inside marriage.
Well, this is a very controversial gray area for law, especially in our Nigerian jurisdiction, in the sense that it is a bit skeptical because there is no law. There is no law that has classified it as a criminal offense. And if we go discuss this topic, we have to go to the providing laws. We will get the criminal laws. We make provisions for these issues. And one of which is the Criminal Code Act. Under 357, don't define rape totally. And then under that same law, the Criminal Code Act, under Section 6, when the acts don't exclude married woman or married man as persons if you get carnal knowledge. You understand the situation? And then if you go back to the note under the Penal Code, they also said that it will not amount to carnal knowledge, except the lady never attained the age of puberty. So you find out that it is a bit controversial, because there is no specific law where talks say intercourse between a man and a woman at some point will become criminal offense. But however, coming from the human rights angle, I take a stance on this issue, because in 1993 the United Nations in one of their declarations on elimination of violence against women, don't talk, say, marital rape now offense. And of course, by virtue of Section 12 of our Constitution, we don't indirectly ratify this, some of these treaties. Do you understand? But now the problem is, the problem now the application and domestication of this treaty into our law. Now, 105 nations don't talk, say, at some point, there exists rape between a married man and a married woman.
Now, a woman where the husband don't actually forcefully. Now, if you see the definition of rape, now when person don't give you their consent, and then you actually take them by force. Now, a woman where her husband actually force her to actually get sexual intercourse with her, if he sue the husband to court in Nigeria.
That's exactly what I'm saying. In Nigeria,
you know fit.
You know fit. In Nigeria, you know fit. However, I know fit really talk, say, whether we don't domesticate that declaration into our system. But I'm of the opinion that, of course, that this law we talk about was even derived from the biblical, from the teachings of Paul the Apostle in 1 Corinthians 7:3-5, when talk say make a woman submit to her husband, make a man submit to your husband. But at some point, through consent and time, consent of time, say them fit stay apart during fasting and praying time, of course. So, but in summary, the issue is still controversial to date, and we haven't really seen any woman we don't rise up. Okay, say okay, make we, because this thing deals with my individual rights, it deals now my civil and political rights where they affect. Make I go human rights courts. Do you understand what
Okay, so you dey talk, say, for inside human rights court, then fit get a case as such.
Of course, of course. It just be like some of these tropical issues where they come out now between some of these our brothers, Nnamdi Kanu and co, where we they advise them, say, if federal government agree with you for the local courts, that's the High Court, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, say make you go ECOWAS court. Since say Nigeria are part of the people where don't agree to apply the treaties, so make them go ECOWAS court. So I am saying that a woman who has felt that the husband has actually raped her can try the human rights courts.
Okay, first of all, make we understand the definition of rape according to the Nigerian law. So according to the Nigerian law, rape now forceful penetration
Without consent.
Without consent.
Yes.
Now my question be, if for instance now between two partners, husband and wife, because we know a lot of people get very warped sense of sexual fantasies these days. A man decides, okay, because say you be my wife, I feel do anything to you. So in you something other than in body to penetrate the woman. We feel classify that one under rape.
Where in use something else.
Be like instruments.
Yes.
First, we have to understand that rape is where a person has unlawful carnal knowledge. The word is unlawful carnal knowledge.
What did they
And
make
that's
unlawful?
penetration. What thing go make unlawful na consent? That's why I'm still coming to that. So unlawful carnal knowledge with a woman or a girl. That's 357 of the Criminal Code Act and 282 of the Penal Code Act. Okay, with that consent or without that consent, where you have actually induced her by true fear of death or hurt, do you understand? Or where you made her believe that you are husband. So, and then you had, so that's it. The two main key words or main features in the definition of rape is penetration and consent. You penetrated and there's no consent. And of course, several acts have constituted rape. Some cases where I know really readily make available now has shown that it does not have to. They try to avoid some words. So,
no problem.
So it does not have to. The penetration must not be through the man's private parts. Do you understand? Okay. As long as you can show.
Say
some people don't even
actually
define rape.
place.
Say when you, what's it called again? When a man and a woman are trying to, where here's a blowjob, okay, things like that. You know, the concept of rape is changing. It's changing from the normal thing we understand it, that there must be penetration through.
That's not why they ask these questions, because for inside a particular research from the International Center for Women and the United Nations Populations Funds. Now, some people, they list, say, if you force your partner to watch pornography against their will, that one's self-rape.
But now, when you talk, say, even the law in Nigeria not actually protects the victim. Because whether say you force them to watch pornography movie, you force them use instrument, it is still not considered as rape, according by what you talk in Nigeria. So who protects the victim, which is the woman or the man? And how they could get access to the human? Is it easy to get access to the human rights?
Of course, it is as easy as anything. Walk up to the ECOWAS court, there in Abuja.
Okay, now you mentioned Abuja. How about Lagos? How about Delta?
That's the accessibility.
How about Osun State? Because these things, they happen everywhere. No, so if, for instance, now I be orange hawker for on top of the street, and then rape me, how I want to gather money, travel all the way to Abuja first before I go fit actually get case on waiting don't happen to me?
We must understand something. You know, we are talking about classes of rape now. Of course, what I'm confined to is the spousal or marital rape, okay? And I'm saying that the marital rape has no protection under our law. However, if a woman gets justice, she can actually proceed to the ECOWAS court. But the normal rape, the normal concept of rape, which is a woman, a girl, of course you can, once you can show that you have been penetrated upon, it was without your consent, then you can access any court of your choice, any criminal court of your choice, either the
It's really very dicey for the married one.
But then again, very dicey way. Then again, for a married woman, how accessible this ECOWAS courts be? Because now we talk about marriage. I mean, not say for inside marriage, families the day involved. So person husband rape him now, or person wife rape him, and he won't actually take this case to ECOWAS courts. What will be the duration of this case? How long it go drag? How amicable they won't settle and where be say it no go affect the marriage? Because I try reason say if anybody actually take this case to ECOWAS courts, the marriage don't they break, or it lead to the end of the marriage in itself once and for all.
Well, this is a rare, like I told you before I started, I told you it's a controversial or a gray area for our law, you understand? But I said that there's no harm in anybody making efforts. There's no harm in anybody trying. Do you understand? And I know if we speculate, but all I know is say, it all starts somewhere. At least we wouldn't have known that the case, in Dazuki's case, we wouldn't have known that somebody could have access to the ECOWAS court, even after the Supreme Court on Thursday, you are not granted bail. Do you understand? So, but he made efforts, and he went, and there's an order from the ECOWAS court to release this guy on bail and damages as well. So I cannot vividly tell you the period, even in normal criminal trial in the Nigerian court. I cannot speculate to you, but I can easily tell you that it is accessible. It's only, the only consideration and the only factor we are considering here is the woman's pocket, if she can hire a good lawyer to help her out of the situation and claim damages. And again, there are so many other things we consider. Okay, what do you tend to gain? Why are you going to the ECOWAS court? And the woman, most women always have issues of segregation, you know, when people end up knowing what you're going through. So some of these things limits them from taking actions from and all that, and public, you know, public opinions about them and all that. So these are some of the issues we have. So it necessarily very accessible, the ECOWAS court. But again, I don't think that there have been issues. You understand? There have been these kind of issues in this court, but there's no harm in trying. But
now, you as a human rights lawyer, you feel, say, spousal rape supposed to be federal crime?
Yes. Like when I looked at one of my principal's work, I took his view that, yes, the world is growing. Human rights is changing. That I believe, that I religious belief that there cannot be marital rape is age one, is achronic, is old-fashioned. Do you understand? Well, however, though, I failed to point out that under the common law, there are 3 instances wherein a woman can allege marital rape, okay? When there's judicial separation, the court has actually granted a judicial separation. Although they are still within the husband and wife confinement. But however, there's a judicial separation. At that point, the woman can allege marital rape. Again, when there's a decree nisi is usually for 3 months. So within that period, anything that happens to the woman against her consent, she can allege marital rape and approach the normal court. Or when there's an injunction against the man or an undertaking, all these are common law exceptions.
So not when you're married. So when you're married, it's not part of those options.
Well, you're still married when there's a judicial.
No, I mean when you're living together. Say husband and wife, they live together. It's not part of the options because the first one, now when courts don't give a separation.
The only place that was captured is under the penal code. But the penal code has a limitation. The penal code says that she must have attained the age of puberty. Do you understand it? So that was why the issue, the Yerima's case, Ahmed Yerima's case, was a bit dicey. You understand? So, but there's no protection under our law. That's the truth. But if we look at that declaration by the United Nations, and I've said earlier, by virtue of Section 12, Nigeria supposed don't advance. As of 2006, about 105 countries made this issue, marital rape, a criminal offense. So I know if you say Nigeria are the greatest black nation. There are instances when the woman will be so tired, she does not want to have sexual intercourse. She'll be so weak, or she'll come back from work. I feel there should be a consensus. I feel that the man should be able to agree with the woman on her will.
But let's take it from the fact that we know Nigeria is a religious country. We know say we not take religion out of them at all. Is it right for a woman or a man to deny their partner sexual satisfaction?
Well,
let's take it from the angle of being a religious country.
Well, I have quoted 1 Corinthians 7, 3-5. And let me also quote the Quran.
Please.
The Quran says that where a woman denies his husband conjugal rights, you know, all those things, that Allah will inflict whatever injury on her, will inflict whatever
on the woman for rejecting her
for
husband.
that period. So that's why I said Nigeria is a very religious state.
Of course.
And most probably cultural as well, cultural inclined as well. So in the circumstance, whatever we do, because we are also more of a polygamous state, so we tend to overlook this particular issue. And it will be very, very difficult. It will be very, very difficult for us to actually rectify the declaration I'm talking about. Very, very difficult. So being a religious state makes it more difficult.
But now, as a people, how we fit make the government see, say, spousal rape supposed to be federal crime?
It's
because
real.
These things, yes, say
it's
it's real. Because
real.
these things, they happen every day. And like you talk, people, they overlook them. So what do we fit do as individuals to make our voice heard, to make our vision seen, say they actually need to do something about, and they need to put them in our law. It needs to be federal crime so that other people go there aware and maybe stay away from it or avoid it however possible.
Well, I have said already in a work I was doing, I said there should be a federal amendment of the criminal code. Of course, that law don't dey a little bit old-fashioned. Make we make laws, make it fit the standards, international standards, because Nigeria is one of the greatest black nations. But again, these guys are the biggest perpetrators of this evil, this menace we are talking about, you understand? And so it makes it more difficult for them to. Or again, some people are enlightened. You find out, you see some recently, you see people coming out to speak. Even the social media has been of much help. You voice out. When people voice out, you see human rights lawyer coming to your aid. There's no harm, like I said earlier on, there's no harm in going to the ECOWAS court to enforce your civil and political rights. You understand? Your individual rights. There's no harm in trying. There's no harm in enforcing your individual rights in the ECOWAS court. As long as it might even be a landmark case for you. You understand? So it's just a step. It's just for someone to take a step. But who will? That's a question.
I actually like that part, who will, because we don't see a lot of women come outside to talk, say, hey, my husband raped me, or hey, I don't know who to tell, or even the man too come outside talk, say, hey, my wife raped me, or I don't actually know who to tell. And a lot of controversy actually there online. People are actually of the opinion, say it is impossible for you to call it rape when you're married. Say, you go see say a lot of men, now men like you, now they come outside, they talk, say, after you don't marry, the man has the right to own you as a woman. He gets you, he gets your body, he gets everything where you get. Now, take away the fact that you be lawyer. Let's talk to you as a man. You actually go with the class of people where they come outside talk, say, a man actually own a woman. But before we talk about that, we're going to actually buy some more break. And when we come back, time for us to answer if really not true, say, once a man is married to a woman, he actually gets everything where the woman gets, plus including her body. When they come back.
My name is Nwabueze. Please make sure say you watch Talk Talk with we and Betiana. Not change your TV channel. God bless you.
Yes, welcome back. We still get Barrister Nwabueze inside the building. And now he won't tell us from his own point of view, not as a barrister, not as a human rights lawyer, but as a man, whether all of this spousal rape allegations, he support him.
About the man owning the woman body.
Now the same support or against?
Well, taking away the fact that I'm a lawyer.
Yes, please.
Well,
leave all the sections away.
Yeah, my own opinion be say there should be a balance. There should be a balance. As long as consensus now one very big thing we're going to consider too. What does the wife want today? What does the husband want today? You understand? Sometimes I might come back from work, I'll be very tired. I don't want disturbance. I don't want to have any issues with or any close contact with my wife. I just want to rest. And she's on me, she's all over, and you know, and so vice versa. So my own opinion be say,
talk at me, because you lawyers now like to be diplomatic. Just talk.
I'm not being
diplomatic.
A human
right now.
My opinion, even right now, in several of my acquaintances, sometimes my friends call me and I said, no, don't call me at this hour. I should have my freedom now. I usually have big problems with it. So even when I'm married, it's something my wife should be able to deal with. Okay, yes, something she should be able to deal with.
Can she deny you, Mr. Harry?
Well.
Especially the fact say we not fit take tradition and religion out of Nigeria.
Temporal denial is not permanent denial.
What if it actually take place for a very long time? Because you know what? Actually, there was a time where I treat this particular issue on air, and a lot of women come outside and talk. So the reason I actually stay away from my husband for 1 year. I'm not allowed to touch him for 1 year because he do this badness. Men too will come outside and talk, say, I stay away from my wife for 2 years because she not really tell me, say she stays sorry for one issue or the other where we actually face. So if that kind of particular thing happen and body they eat you, you go.
It would be very good for you to really ask the man if he was faithful all throughout that 1 year.
Okay, so you would not be faithful all through the 1 year?
No. It's a different case. No, I'm not saying from, I'm not picking it up from where you stopped. But I've just shared my opinion though, and my opinion is, I believe most men will share my opinion. There should be, your wife is not a slave. Your wife is not a sex pawn. Your husband is not a sex pawn, okay? There should be a limit. There should be
a limit.
There should be a limit. There should be a kind of balance. Should be a consensus, just like 1 Corinthians 7:3-5 says. So when all these things are in place, you will find out that there will be peace, relative peace between a man and a wife.
Do you think when it comes to sexual satisfaction, some men are very selfish? Well, I'm not going to say wicked. You think some men are very selfish. They don't even want to understand where the woman they actually come from.
Well, yes, some men might be, some women might
Finally,
be
a man agrees. No, just stick to men, please. Finally, a man actually agrees that men can be selfish when it comes to torchlighting of a thing. Go on.
Yes, I agree. Because women are usually the victims in this situation. So most times I think men can be selfish sometimes.
So how can they let go of that selfishness?
Well,
because now from being selfish, that's now why you can't decide, say, you want to actually force your wife.
Well, I think it's high time we start growing in our mentalities. It's high time we start enlightening ourselves. Okay, there's more to marriage than just confining yourselves to the bed. There's more to marriage than just putting yourselves in that single room. So I think I would just advise men generally to start viewing marriage as a blessing. As a blessing, yes. So that we can enjoy it. You can understand each other better, and of course, it's an institution. It's an institution. So issues like this, I don't stand on the man. I don't stand on the woman.
Okay, so we still talk about denial of conjugal rights for inside the marriage. And of recent, I actually get a friend, she get belle. And we all know how a lot of women these days, now people they come out to talk about the depression where women they face post and prepartum. That's before they're born and after they're born. And now because for some reason she did depressed during her pregnancy, and she told me, say, you know what, I don't stop to allow my husband actually have access to my body. Not because say she won't punish him, but she just gets some kind of depressed mentality. Now you go call that denial of conjugal rights, knowing say this na a condition where people don't get to know about. Say okay, some women they get depressed during their pregnancy.
Well, denial of conjugal rights during pregnancy. Well, I'll just bring in the issue of understanding.
But how many men go they understanding?
Well, but that's
We
the
should keep
whole
speaking.
cause.
We should need preaching. We need to continue to preach understanding for men, no? Because men are not understand.
That's the crux of marriage, understanding. If you don't understand your husband or your wife, then there's an issue, a big issue. If she says, during pregnancy, but of course she should know that during pregnancy, sex is good for her.
Yeah, well, she know this. For me, I feel saying like I don't want to call them a condition because now like an involuntary act. Now while she knows say they're good for her, and while she knows say okay, now her duty as a wife to tender to the husband. For some reason, she know they think straight. Now for her
hormones,
yes, her
running.
hormones they everywhere. So na situation of you, I bet no touch me. I know they in the mood.
I tell you, and the men go actually just take them very personal. Some men they take them personal.
It
Very
depends on
personal.
individuals. It depends on individuals again. A good number of men will understand, and a good number of men will also pick an offense on that issue. But generally, the woman is not supposed to deny her husband conjugal rights. Okay, she's not supposed to do that, even if it's so unpleasing to her. For every reason, for the reason of marriage and the institution, she should just be submissive, while she should have a perfect way of voicing out her depressions to her husband and all that. And perhaps if she married a very nice husband or a very good husband, he should understand at that.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so
don't
maybe
talk, okay, sorry, just to say something. We don't talk a lot about marital rape, about a lot of things concerning the marriage. Now, let's talk about you as a person now. I want to know why you decide to go into human rights.
Well, I've seen a lot of things happening in our society, and
Like,
well, I've seen a lot of violations of people's rights, especially in the community where I'm coming from.
what community?
I'm from Imo State, from Mbidi precisely. Of course, Imo State is part of NDDC, and you know, I've seen a lot of denial of political rights, denial of our civil rights. I've seen a lot of things happening. And
Let's talk about some of the things where they happen, sorry, so that people go there informed about what things they happen for that area.
Okay, well, ordinarily, people like me, because I don't really have, I don't think there are more than 3 lawyers in my community, okay? Ordinarily, people like us should, when we were in the law school, we were meant to have some allocations from the government through the NDDC, but these funds were diverted. We were supposed to have some aids, even after school, scholarship funds, but these things were diverted. So we were left at the mercies of taking care of ourselves, going through even our community. Like the biggest issue in my community, where one of the big oil exploration company found oil in my place, and just after like 6 years, they are denying the people of their rights to their farmland, and they are trying to go away at the moment. They're trying to leave the communities, and these people don't know their rights. So some of these issues, there are a lot of them. There are things I may not really want to say out because of our political.
What about culture in your area as regards to the woman, protecting the woman and the man? This one not actually make you go into human rights too?
Yes. I remember a situation. I remember several situations in my place in Imo State where some women were actually treated unfairly. Even men, yes, some men were treated unfairly. That was in Oru West. Of course, it's been a dent in my community. So some of these things...
How were they treated unfairly?
Well, you discover that women are denied their right to education. Yes, that's very prevalent in my place.
Okay.
You know, the father thinks that it's only the male child who should go to school.
So that reasoning, they don't change them now?
Well,
And
of
what you
course.
they do to make sure, say, that change come to play?
Well, of course. It's thanks to Mr. Rochas, thanks to our governor, though I'm not his man, though. Yeah, I'm not his man, but thanks to him for what he has done a little bit in education. He has really helped, like the free education system he brought, and it has really supported so many people. Now you find out Imo State used to be the forefront for education in the southeast, but over time it changed. But thanks to his government, that has been trying to revive this situation. So,
okay. Very interesting conversation we don't get for inside the studio, but time for me to give you health tips for the day. Now, they say brushing for at least a few minutes, first thing in the morning and last thing at night, it will actually help you to get rid of cavities, sugar, and they help you to stay strong. So you need to brush morning and then night. Brush at night before bedtime. It will really help you.
I actually like that one. Now, your final words as regards to marital rape, even for the man and the woman.
Okay, my final words is that our government, through the legislative organ or legislative arm, should look into these situations. If the United Nations programs should not be a mere lip service, should not be a mere document. These documents should be enforced. As a matter of fact, these are the things that turns us towards the right of development, because the world is changing. Do you understand? The society is changing, and just like society is changing, the first world countries are following. Why are we still counted among the third tier? Because we are failing to meet up to the obligations, international obligations and standards, and that is why we keep falling short. So I would say that, although most of them sometimes are reasonable, but they know the truth. But they do not want to part through the truth. So there should be reasonable amendments, either through subsidiary legislations or either through acts of the National Assembly, to address these issues.
Of marital rape.
Address these issues. We have laws. We have several laws that have, and so many countries, even countries that are lower than Nigeria, are already practicing this marital rape. So why wouldn't Nigeria
take part of it?
Take part of it.
Thank you so much, Barrister Nwabueze.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. To reach you on top Instagram, social media, are you there?
Yes, yes.
What's
well,
yours?
I hope I...
You not feel remember?
Yes, my full name on Facebook, the Nwabueze Harry Ifeanyi.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Make sure you follow him for all your worries about spousal, marital rape, or anything concerning human rights activism in there to help you.
Yes. All right, time for us to leave. It's been a wonderful day.
Amazing day.
Yes, as we always talk, Betty.
To talk not be bad thing, but making a thing they talk about.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.